I want some fun with this. So you know what? I was right once. Why not go for it again?
Get it in. Okay, so the weather in Kansas City, 28 degrees and clear
Whoa, so
at game
cold,
time.
so
Cold.
cold, cold.
Uh-huh.
So next we've got. I'm going to pause this real quick.
Yep.
So in Kansas City, it's going to be cold,
Yep.
and I think the wind blows a little bit there in Kansas City as well. So that kind of cold is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And
Didn't check the win.
look who we got joining us in a moment.
It's the last 13 seconds of the
The
cast.
last 13 seconds of the show. He's still trying. Damn it. All right. I'm going to pause again. And look, Ralph, look who joined us. John's with us. Took him
There
13,
it
the
is.
last 13 seconds of our show to join us.
Oh my God,
That's it.
these
That's
guys,
it.
man.
Look at that. We're actually doing our
Why?
preview right
Why?
now.
Why would you say it?
or maybe we just don't give them an opportunity to get the ball in overtime.
See,
Well,
there you go.
either or.
See, there you go. Don't even give me the option.
See, now we're bringing up old stuff. I know.
Right?
So we're just getting ready to do our prediction. We already know that you're not going to make a prediction for the
Right.
AFC Championship game. But tell us, from Bills Mafia, how did that game feel the other day?
I tell you what, it was great because both teams. I mean, either one I know are probably the two best teams in NFL right now, two best quarterbacks in NFL right now, and they have a team around them to really focus on the game plan, and execution from the coaches. So for me, if we won, amazing. If we lost, great. The next team is going to go and go all the way. That's the way I saw it, and that's kind of still the way I see it. Again, no predictions because I don't want to do it. But I think the best team, if not the second best team right now, is playing.
Hey, so John, how'd you feel last week? Like, I know I went off on a rant when I found out Buffalo was dogs in Orchard Park against the Ravens. Like, how'd that make you feel?
It was good. It feels good just to compete. The competition is there, and the quarterback competition is there, so it felt really good. I know who's playing. So I'm always excited about it, and I love watching Lamar play, and I love watching Josh play. So, I don't
Look at you all being a sportsman-like person. We did reference earlier how, and I'm going to use the word despicable, fucked up the fan base of Baltimore was with the death threats to Mark Andrews, and the kudos to the Bills Mafia fans are donating a ton of money to Mark Andrews charity, which is amazing. So
yeah.
it's not the first time we've ever heard of Bills Mafia doing something like that.
Yeah, we did too. I think it was Andrew Dalton back in Cincy when he beat out whoever he beat out back in 16 or 18, something like that.
I think it was 18, yeah.
Yeah, and then we just sent money his way. We're just like, we're going to do it.
Not only money, they also sent a ton of buffalo wings to Cincinnati.
Yeah,
so
yeah, for sure.
That's the fandom. That's the kind of fan. I mean, if I wasn't a fan of a better team, I would root for Buffalo for that kind of reason.
Yeah.
But obviously, I prefer teams with Super Bowl victories.
Oh, you know what? I mean, it's not always about the ring. Sometimes about the execution.
Not according to Herm Edwards. You
Hey,
play to win the game.
Hey, you know what? I'm playing to have a good time no matter what. So for me, we have winning seasons. We've been winning seasons since 2018 now, 2019, and we're going to playoffs all the time now. I'm awesome with it. You know what I mean? It's been, our drought was 17 years long of not even making it to the playoffs. So for me, I'm good with it. I'm good with just execution and getting to the playoffs, one extra game, and it keeps us, motivated for the next year. Because everybody knows, I mean, this year, it was a rebuild year. The team is garbage.
Yeah,
and all the haters were saying it. And here's Josh. Okay,
and I mean, teams that have never won a Super Bowl talk like that, and that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, stay with that positiveness. I love it. Okay,
right. Yeah.
So
I know. It's tough though. It's tough.
So we're going to do our prediction right now because I know you're not. We already know predictions, and you're not even saying the 8-letter word that happens on February 9th?
Yeah,
it happens on. You're not saying the 4 or the 8-letter word. I get. I'm all about superstitions. I wear the same jersey when the 49ers win games, back to back to back games. I never wash it. I'm that way. So I changed a lot of jerseys this year. But we're walking into the Kansas City game. The spread, again, like we said, is 1.5 with the over and under 47.5. I'm going to take this one, Ralph. I'm going to jump on this one. It's going to be cold there. We don't know. We didn't check the wind, but it's going to be about 30-something degrees at game start. A lot of hitting. I'm going to go with 27-21 Buffalo. They're going to crack the code on that Spagnuolo defense, and they're going to be able to just, like we said before, death by 1,000 paper cuts, and they're going to win the game and go represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I like it. I like the prediction. I love the prediction. You know, I mean, if I was going to say something, I would probably say something similar to it. You know, and I think that those two, again, I think it's going to come back to quarterbacks, and I'm not going to talk about the NFL and what they want, but
we've already talked about that a lot.
Yeah, if the teams get to play, I could see that, if not more, happening.
Right.
Yeah.
And what you got, Ralph?
Yeah. So I'm thinking. This is too big. This is too big of a game for the referees to influence anything left or right. Right? It's too big. It is way too big. I think Josh Allen and company understand that, and that, like we talked previously, as long as Josh Allen stays on schedule like he's been all year, there is absolutely no way Kansas City can beat them. If Josh Allen comes off schedule and tries to be Superman, they're going to lose, right? So with that being said, there's one thing Josh Allen said this week that kind of stuck in my ear when he was running the ball, going into the end zone. He said he thought about pitching the ball to Cook, and then he realized, I'm not going to do that. That tells me Josh Allen is going to be efficient. Yep. Josh Allen knows what he has to do. And Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are going to go into Kansas City, and they're going to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs 24-21 and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. That's my prediction.
This feels like college game day right now. It just sounded like a little Corso action going on. Yeah. Very direct. I loved it. Yeah. I'm ready to run through a wall.
I'm just saying, you got to call it how it is. As long as Josh Allen continues to do what he's done all year, they can't beat him.
Right.
They cannot. And you know, they're not as talented as they were in years. And people were talking about them being dogs against the Ravens. I get it. They had to play close to a perfect game, and they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they caused takeaways, and they did not give the ball away. And that was Josh Allen's Achilles heel for 3 or 4 years, was his turnovers. And everybody says once he cleans that up, he's going to be it, man. And again, goes back to what we said earlier before John got on, is, you know, him and Patrick Mahomes have a relationship right now. Right. It's not a rival because he's never beat him.
Right.
Right. So this is where Josh Allen establishes the rivalry between Patrick Mahomes, and all of America is behind Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Except one little northeast or northwestern spot in Missouri about that big.
Right.
I mean, you know, and then your 2016 to 2024 people that joined when, you know, whatever it was, they were Pats fans. Now they're KC fans. It's just, you know, whatever it is.
It's called the bandwagon.
100%.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to say it, you know. I mean,
100%.
I'll say it.
100%.
We have plenty of them on the 49ers bandwagon, so except this year because, they suck now. I don't like them.
Right. Now they go again, you know. Then they'll be back in 2 years or next year when you guys are like, all right, let's draft for what we want. Let's put in where we want. Let's get our our trades how we want it, how San Fran wants to do it. But they built this team around Josh Allen. What did they say? We lost 6 of our 8 captains. They were all gone. So we had 2 captains left. And then, you know, now we're running with a rookie running back, basically. Mm-hmm. And the dude is he's tied for number 1 in the league for points and everything else, touchdowns and all the other stuff. He's, I think, number 3, because you got Henry, Barkley, and him. And Cook. And Cook's just making money for the whole team, and having that run game instead of Josh running it is just wonderful because now he can rely on that. He's a good back that runs out, can make the catches, which you saw last week with our game. They're guys, if Henry's out in the open, he may or may not catch that ball. If he has it in his hand and he starts running down the tracks, that train's not going to get stopped.
No.
It's tough.
What was impressive in that game against Baltimore is Josh Allen took what the defense would give him.
Right.
He didn't try to force anything. If it wasn't there, he hit his check down for 6 or 7 yards. I'd rather deal with 3rd and 2 than 3rd and 10 any day. And that's the game that has evolved for Josh Allen this year is he's efficient. His efficiency is through the roof, man. It's night and day. And he proved it in the regular season when they beat Kansas City. But again, we all know playoffs are a completely different beast.
Right.
And I do think that this is the year. He knows it.
Yeah.
He knows it. This is
Ralph, I think you're right when you were talking about, if all eyes are on this game after last week, watching what happened to Houston that outscore them, outdrove them, out-yarded them, out everything them.
Did not referee them.
You don't win that game. Don't win that game, period. It's a done deal. It doesn't happen. So all eyes are on this. So I think there's going to be a big, big problem if the same thing happens and every single time there's a commercial break, you're looking up in the stands up there and you see, the billionaire sitting up there making money for the NFL. That's a problem.
Yes, it is.
I think that's the only way because we're a better team, hands down, better team from top to bottom. I think there are, our tight ends can probably they're not at a Kelsey level, but if you watch Kelsey closely during the game, you can see why he's open. And I'm not saying he's dirty. I'm not saying we'll just say he's opportunistic with the defenders that are on him, and he kind of takes advantage of the small or the route runners and kind of does that 5-yard whatever he needs to do to get these guys out of the way, and then he's off. So I watch Kelsey. I'm always watching him because I'm this is the only playoff game in KC we haven't been to in the past 5 years or 4 years, whatever it is. So because the tickets were just too much and I'm like, nah, travel ban.
Yeah, it's again, this one is too big. This is honestly, this is probably bigger than the Super Bowl. Yeah. Regardless of the matchups, this is bigger than the Super Bowl. And if there are blown calls, no calls, or calls that shouldn't be called, the NFL fandom is going to lose their mind.
Right.
If Buffalo can play a clean game, like if I'm their head coach, just be clean. No penalties, be clean. And I agree with John. There's just no way Kansas City can match up with Buffalo if they're playing clean. And they played clean last week.
Yeah, they did.
Played clean the week before.
I think there was even 2 calls. I think it was I don't want to say it was Ford or one of the other linemen. I'm not sure who it was. We had an awesome blocked them down. They said it was holding. A personal foul, something like that.
Hey, that's what it was.
Like,
yeah.
What?
We had talked about that play. Yeah. I thought it was in the Kansas City game, but it was in the Buffalo game.
Yeah.
He just basically just moved his arms off his body and got called for holding.
Right.
And it's just like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
I got to interject, gentlemen. We only got about a minute left on the recording, so.
Got it. Sorry.
No, things happen. We can talk about this for days. I'm going to break this up into 2 different shows. So I'm going to just do the Buffalo Bills one. I'm going to edit it down, and then I'm going to do Ralph and I. So that'll be the fun way to do this. But I want to thank everybody for watching. This has been Ralph, Tim, and a special guest star showing up in the second half, which Buffalo doesn't normally do. John Fisher showing up.
That's our time.
So appreciate everybody watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next Thursday. Hopefully, with our predictions, hopefully we'll have John on the show with us next week.
That'd be great.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Stay safe.